Hello, I am Liffey and welcome to another planty video. Today, it's Monday morning. This is probably going to be more of a vloggy style thing, I guess, so if that's not your jam, I'm warning you now. But I thought before I get cracking, I would do a quick studio tour of the plants in here. I'm not going to do a whole house tour just because I'm not super comfortable with showing my entire house to people I don't know on the internet. Just a thought. But I will show you my studio, mostly because this is where the majority of my plants live, and because it's fun, and because I'm putting off getting started working on a Monday morning. So yeah, I'm just going to take you around and show you everyone, really. So here we go. Rosie will probably be helping us as well. She has a lot to say today, don't you? Oh, okay, cool. Excellent. Okay, let's get started. Okay, let's do this end of the room first. So first we have this guy. This is my Hoya obovata. I've just cut off, he had a really long tendril that came like all the way over here. I've cut it off and I'm propagating it just because I want to fill the pot out. But he's doing so nicely. I think I'm gonna say it. I think obovata may be my favorite Hoya. Oh my goodness, look how dusty. That's appalling. Oh wow. Okay. We'll pretend that he's clean, but yeah. Look at those leaves. They're getting nice and big as well. So there we go. Let's go over here first. So this is kind of like propagation land. I haven't cleaned or done anything. I think it's nice to just show you a realistic view of what stuff looks like. So over here, this absolutely magnificent beast of a plant is Philodendron tuxulatum, I believe. So there you go, you can see the red backs of the leaves over here. He's got quite a good root system going, but I'm just going to leave it a little bit longer before potting it up. What a stunner. Step on tape. Okay, then in this little propagation vessel over here, which needs a clean, there's this very sad but very nicely variegated, oh my brain this morning, Monstera elbow. The node, so I was given this guy, the node was pretty much completely rotted. But I don't know if it's going to do anything, but I thought I'll just try, it's worth it. I don't hold out much hope though, I think it might be a goner. I would put it in spag, but I pretty much always rot everything I put in spag and moss, so water prop is my favorite. Then there's this guy. Look at how many fenestrations he has. So this is actually from the garden. He's a big chunk with an aerial root. But I just want to see if I can propagate it and grow a large form inside, because his outside leaves are absolutely flippin' enormous. Rosie's having a funny turn. Then this, of course, is my Philodendron Dark Lord, looking absolutely beautiful. What a stunner of a plant. Still haven't given it a pole. We'll do that at some point. So that's that little corner. Then up here we have Hoya polyneura. Looking pretty good. Very excited about that. It's just there because I don't quite know where to put it at the moment, but it'll do for now. Then this shelf, this is a Anthurium magnificum. As you can see over here, I had a little bit of a watering issue, but it's fine. This leaf is looking really good, and it's got some more growth points activated on the little nub there, so hopefully it starts to fill out in spring. We are in spring now, so well, we've got like a week until it's officially spring, but it's September now. And then this is another plant from the garden. I'm doing a lot of like inside-outside vibes. This is a spider plant. I can't remember the actual name, begins with a C. I'll post it. All the names, I'm hoping I will remember to put all of the names up on screen. Spider plants are probably one of my favorite plants. I know they're not fancy or rare or whatever you want to call them, but I think they're absolutely beautiful. So I can't wait for this to fill out. I have them in the garden in our shade beds, but I actually really wanted one that like trailed in here. So That's why he now lives in here, and also why some of the leaves look a little snail eaten, because he used to live outside. Then the final plant on this side of the room is this guy. So this is my Philodendron verrucosum. I did an unboxing probably about this time last year, a little bit earlier in the year, I think. So I've had him just over a year. It came with spider mites, unfortunately, which took me an age to knock on the head, as you can tell. But it is now no longer an issue. I mean, it lives alone, just to be safe. But yeah, it's taken quite a lot of treating, but we finally cracked it. I'm going to do another preventative probably at the next watering to be safe. But yeah, such a pretty plant. I don't know if the shine really shows properly on camera. You can kind of see. Beautiful. And of course, new growth coming out. I'm a fan of more of like a stumpy bushy than a long tall traily guy. But at the same time, I do want the bigger leaves. So I'm going to keep propping and growing up. Ugh, if that makes any sense. My brain is still in Monday mode. Very early morning Monday mode, sorry. But that's the plan. Yeah, these leaves don't look great, but oh well. As long as the pests are under control, that's all I care about. Then, to this side of the room. I wonder if I could do this all in one shot. That would be quite nice, wouldn't it? Okay, so let's just talk about this little cluster over here for a hot second. So also, if you've been following this channel for a while, you will know that I am a little bit obsessed with sport hunting. And on my travels, I find quite a lot of sport Monstera, and I'll be honest with you, they take up a lot of space. So I buy the plants, and then normally it's just one seedling in the plant that has the sport variegation on it. And I separate that out after it's acclimated, and then they live in their own pots. And I don't have the space for that. So last weekend, I just put them all in one pot. And now they live in here. So, like, this one's got some good variegation. This leaf is unfortunately looking like it's on its way out, which is a bit sad. We've got some variegation down here, some variegation here. So there's lots of different kinds of sport variegation, like nothing massive. This one is probably the most impressive, but we'll see. We'll see what it does. So that's just kind of like my little sport cluster, as you do. Props, I guess, are interesting. This is Syngonium erythrophyllum. Again, I'll put the name up. It does need potting up, but it's just in here for now because I just haven't had the time. Marble pothos, and cutting of my variegated ZZ, which has been in there for nearly a year and still hasn't got roots, but we'll get there. This guy, I'm not going to take out. This is a Monstera dubia. Teeny tiny little cutting, but I've just kept him in there for now to keep the humidity up. And then the last one on the wheel prop is this Begonia maculata. Again, nicely rooted, but I just haven't had the time to pot it up yet. Also from the garden. So I grow mine outside in the garden, but I just fancied having one inside for a while. Okay, then we have this shelf. Ta-da! So over here we have a Philodendron, is it lemon lime or neon? I can never remember. I'll look it up and put the correct name. The colour on this is ridiculous. It's not really coming out properly on camera. It's so lumo. It's really beautiful. Such a nice trailing plant. Got a little bit of a Brazil leaf snuck in there. It's really cool. Are you going to focus? There you go. Yeah, such a nice trailing plant. This Ludicea discolor has gone on a little bit of a wonky walkabout, but it's flowering at the moment, as you can see, which is really lovely. I've got a bit of dying off of the growth at the bottom here. It's looking a bit scraggly, so I'm going to propagate to fill out the pot, but also such a pretty plant. Those are all the bits of the obovata. This guy, let me just take it down. This is the variegated ZZ. So these are all the rooted cuttings. They're just doing their thing. So we'll see if the new growth actually comes out variegated. There is variegation down all of the stems. Oh, not going to focus. Boop, boop. There we go. So fingers crossed. Up you go. And then lastly, this is my, probably, actually I tell lies, this is my favourite sport, Monstera. So there you go. The variegation, let me put it down. The variegation is not really coming out on camera and it's just looking hella dusty, but it's actually really nicely variegated. So we shall see. I'm very interested to see what this one does. I like the distortion of the leaves. I haven't shown this one before, mostly because I was terrified that as soon as I showed anything with distorted leaves, people would be like, it's mosaic virus. I posted on a lot of groups of professional growers as opposed to like basically people like me who are hobby growers. Most Facebook groups are hobby growers, so I posted on some professional groups just to be like, are we sure? Are we sure? And every single one of them was like, no, it's not mosaic, it's definitely sport variegation. So I'm happy to have it around my collection. Okay, and this is the last little corner. Ta-da! This plant over here doesn't normally live in here. I took a photo on the weekend, hence why it's here, but I thought I'd just leave him and show you and then put him back in the greenhouse. So this is Stick. If you remember Stick from the very start of this channel, he is a variegated syngonium. My absolute pride and joy. I love this plant. He lives in the greenhouse, so he's got a little bit sunburnt there, but honestly, cannot say enough good things about this plant. I probably should keep it inside, but I don't really know where to put him. We'll see. But for now, he's there, and I love him so much. This was my first ever successful wet stick propagation, so he holds a special place. Okay, let's do over here. This guy, this leaf is obviously hella sad, but let's pretend that doesn't exist. Ta-da! Philodendron melanochrysum. There we go, got some focus going on. This little guy, ooh, got some new growth coming in here. There we go, which is very exciting. I'll give him a chopstick soon, but he's doing it nicely, which is great. This leaf is not very happy. We'll just pretend that doesn't exist. But again, I was like, I'm just going to leave things real because plants don't look perfect. Don't let social media fool you. This is an Alocasia black velvet. Ooh. There we go. A gorgeous plant. It came in this pot. I kind of feel like the pot's too big for it, but I also just haven't really, I couldn't be asked to change it, to be honest. So it's just stayed in that pot, and I think it's going to take a while for it to actually want to send out some new growth, but there you go. What a stunner. This little guy is Hoya Matilde, I can never remember. Got this in a plant swap. Again, if you couldn't swap your plants, I would highly encourage you to. It's such a nice way to expand your collection. And the plant community on the whole is absolutely wonderful. But there you go. So this is a whole new little branch coming in. This was the original cutting. And it's doing really nicely. So that's very exciting. In my favourite little foot pot. Over here, can I lift this up? Hold on, I'm going to put you down quickly. Ta-da! This is my very sad little Philodendron gigas. So I bought him, I don't know when I bought it. It's not really grown. It seems to like life under the dome. I've put it under the dome about 6 weeks ago, and as you can see, we've got some new growth now. I think it just needed that extra spike of humidity to help it settle in. The root system was very small, hence why there's like virtually no soil in here. But I think we might finally have cracked it. It's one of my favorite plants, and I'm still really glad that I bought it because it's beautiful. but I was really worried that I was going to kill it. So back under the dome you go, my friend. To hopefully one day grow into something majestic. Okay, this is possibly one of my favourite plants. So this is a juvenile Philodendron elegans. You can see on this one it's starting to get the waves. It'll get the little fingers when it's mature. And it has another growth point coming out. I love this plant so much. Again, got it in a trade and just couldn't be happier. So we'll see how quickly he grows. I think he might be a fast grower, judging by how quickly these two leaves have come out. So we'll see. I don't think he'll fit under the shelf for long. And also we'll obviously need a pole very soon, but so excited, so pretty. Then this is looking a little bit sad, but this is an African violet, variegated African violet. I don't know the cultivar. It was just sold to me as variegated African violet, which isn't super helpful. The new growth also isn't really coming in variegated, but I like the colour of the flowers. As you can see, they're all pretty much done, but there's a few new ones coming in, so that's exciting. Yeah, beautiful. I love African violets. I think they're very underrated. I'm really wanting, I found a seller who sells leaves from her collection for like 10 rand a leaf. I'm very tempted to get some, but at the same time, I'm like, where am I going to put, like, say if I bought 10 leaves, like where am I going to put 10 full new plants? You know what I mean? But she has some amazing stuff. Hi, Ro. Then the last thing on this shelf is, of course, the Ravensese. Again, probably one of my favourite plants. I really like dark foliage. It hasn't grown at all since I bought it because ZZs are very slow growers. And these were very small and had very small root systems. So it's just going to do its thing. It'll grow one day. It hasn't died. So if it's not growing but it hasn't died, you know it's still doing something. That's my motto. Okay, top shelf. Up here, this is a juvenile Philodendron Nangaratense. New growth, which is exciting. I'm very excited for this guy to actually fill out and become mature. The smaller plant, the juvenile plant. Hi, Misty. Bye, Misty. The juvenile plant, I mean, it's not particularly exciting, I'll be honest with you, but the mature plant is flippin' beautiful. So we be patient, we'll wait, and one day it will grow into something absolutely beautiful. So I'm happy to wait for that. Then this, oh, the cat's having a funny tip. This is Anthurium clarinervium with his wonky sideways leaf up here. New leaf. That's very exciting. Okay, that's the current situation. This clarinervium is just absolutely gorgeous. As you can see, teeny tiny bit of browning on this leaf, but whatever, it's fine. I'm very excited it's got some new growth though. Let's take it down just to check that it's not getting stuck, because that would make me very sad. Focus. I'll just leave it down. I'm gonna investigate to make sure it doesn't get stuck. But there you go, now you can see it a little closer. You see the shine? Kind of. So pretty. Okay, then the last two plants. So this one I literally unboxed 2 weeks ago, I think. This is the Syndapsis trubii Moonlight. Super pretty. Such a nice plant. I can't wait for it to start trailing. It's not as silver as I was expecting, but it is still a really nice plant. There you go. Really, really beautiful. And next to, of course, the ever wonderful Alocasia dragon scale. Just such a beautiful plant. I love it so much. I'm not entirely sure if this is perhaps a little too bright. So as you can see, I've got clear panels in my roof, so it gets good natural light in here all day. I don't know if it might perhaps be too bright. Before it was a bit, well, I've basically changed my entire studio setup in here. So if you go back you'll see my previous studio tour, which looked very different. This used to be built-in cupboards over here. And it used to be a little more protected, but we'll see. I think it's okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my studio tour. So those are all the plants I have in here. This is obviously where I spend pretty much all of my time. So I figured I would put some of my favorite plants in here. I do have obviously others around the house, but I'll just show those in like favorite plant things, not in a tour. Anyway, that is really it. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching. Let me know if you have a favorite plant in my collection in here, or what your favorite plant in your collection is currently. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments, or you could talk to me on Instagram at leafy.greenfingers. Yeah, if you haven't subscribed to the channel as well, that would be amazing. I'd love to have you here as part of the team. I'm trying to get into making videos more consistently again. I went through a bit of a lull, but we're back. Planning on some care videos and some more sciencey ones again, so soon. Until then, stay safe, be kind, and I will see you guys soon for another planty video.